Today, I'd like to talk to you about a very sensitive topic. Someday, if it's not already happened, you're going to lose someone close to you. And perhaps you will be spending time at the hospital. Perhaps you will know the day is coming. And you'll probably think that there's something you should be doing, but you may not immediately feel like you know what to do. And so I want to talk to you about some of the things you can do to start preparing. I'm not qualified to talk about how to prepare for the emotional impact, but I know it's going to happen. And maybe it will be happening when you're watching this video. It can be rough. I've been there. So let's talk about some practical things that you could do to make things a little bit easier in the future. And I've made some notes here, so bear with me if I look down. One of the first things I'm going to want you to do is start looking around for the important documents that are likely to become very useful to you as time goes by, and maybe very, very soon. In Oklahoma, our statutes provide for an advance directive for health care. This is a little bit like a medical power of attorney, but it only becomes effective at end-of-life scenarios. If your family member or close friend has prepared one of these documents, it's probably time to find it and have it at hand, maybe even deliver a copy to the hospital or the hospice, because these are the instructions that your family member gave when they were in less stress, when they were more clear of mind, and they relate to how they wanted to be treated towards the end of their life. In the Oklahoma form, there are three basic options, and they apply to three different scenarios. In each of these scenarios, the advance directive only becomes effective if someone is in their final 6 months of life, even if they were to receive all sorts of medical care. And it's only effective if the patient is incapable of making informed decisions or incapable of communicating their decisions. The three basic options are, in no particular order: I want all the medical care. I want a ventilator. I want CPR. I want oxygen. I want surgery, whatever it takes to extend my life a little longer. Or perhaps they don't want all that. The next option might be, no, I only want the feeding tube for nutrition and an IV for hydration when I'm no longer able to make my own decisions, but I don't want surgery, for example. Then the third option is, I don't want any of these things. I don't want the feeding tube, nor would I want surgery, and so forth. Now, please note, this is not the same as a do not resuscitate. Not the same. So you may need both of these. Next, while you're looking for the advance directive, watch for a general power of attorney for health care. Healthcare powers of attorney can be effective even if the doctors have not yet decided that the patient is at or very near the end of their life. I will tell you that there have been times in my practice when the family recognized that the time was at hand before the doctors were willing to articulate it out loud. The healthcare power of attorney can allow the person nominated therein to consent for medical treatment, even if it's not an end-of-life situation. This can be very useful both to you, the family members, and to the physicians that are providing care. Generally speaking, someone needs to receive the information about the proposed care and sign or not sign the informed consent for treatment. The next one's even more difficult. You probably need to start watching for the funeral and burial plan. Oklahoma law provides that it is actually a crime to not follow a funeral and burial plan that a competent adult has executed while of sound mind. Now, I will tell you, I've never seen anyone go to jail for this, but it does make it clear that the legislature took this very seriously. They expect you to honor the wishes of your loved one when it comes to their memorial and burial. And if they have done a written plan, that holds a very high priority in the law. Sometimes it can be difficult to find these documents, even if your friend or loved one has prepared them. Obviously, you'll want to look in the house for a safe or a fireproof box, or maybe even a gun safe. You might have to inquire at the bank as to whether there is a safety deposit box there. And you may have to go to some extraordinary legal lengths to get access to the safety deposit box. But once you do have access to the documents, I encourage you to put the medical related ones into the medical file, the medical records of the patient. Doctors come and go all day, same for nurses and technicians, and you're going to need sleep and you're going to need to go home and bathe. So have these documents in the medical records so that whomever is present will know who to talk to when they need to make important decisions about the care of your loved one. Unfortunately, this is also the time that you need to be thinking about things such as, where is the last will and testament, or where's the trust document? And you'll also want to think about, who's the troublemaker in the family? Now, let's speak practically for just a second. About 2/3 of Oklahomans have no estate planning at all. I mean, nothing, not a power of attorney, nothing. If that's the case, then you're going to need to find a way to have the difficult conversations, if possible, with your friend, with your mother, your father, such as, who is your attorney? Who is your CPA? Have you thought about what you would want in the way of a funeral or burial? These are not easy conversations. And I don't relish the thought of you having to do it. But your other option is to ignore what's happening and then just wing it when they're gone. That's not going to be easy either. If you think about all these things and do the best you can, you'll probably have a much better opportunity of dealing with the situation rationally and appropriately. It's not easy, but you can get through this if you take it one step at a time. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you don't face these days anytime soon. But if you must, and if you need help, give us a call. We're at 405-733-8686. I wish you a good day.